Hi folks, today I'm going to show you the TideSlide system that we use for docking our boat, the Grady 33 Express. Stand by. So the TideSlide system is a mooring system for your boat, and it works with the tide. These are the chocks that are mounted to a stainless steel pole, and obviously they go up and down with the tide. The key to it is your lines are very short and keep the boat close to the TideSlide system. No real need for spring lines or crisscross lines to deal with the tide.
So this is another view of the TideSlide system. You can see the stainless steel pole, which is through bolted onto the piling. Now again, the idea is that the ropes are short and very tight to the TideSlide system. That's the first view was a TideSlide at the bow. This one is set up for a spring line, which you do not need, but I get some pretty heavy weather, and I can show you here how the TideSlide system will go up and down with the tide or with the waves. So when this boat's in some severe winds and weather at the dock, it stands up. Now this is the port side bow. You can see that the lines are very, very short, maybe about 2 to 3 feet, and it's meant to keep the boat very stable and without moving too much in the weather. Normally you'd have very, very long lines to deal with the tide, and that would cause the boat to sway. Here I've got a spring line attached to the port side. Not really needed, but I just feel better having it. This is now the aft of the boat. This is on the starboard side. There's this TideSlide again, tied right up to the cleat. That's about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. Now this side is a bit different. I don't have a piling close to the boat, so I had to rig up these shock lines, and that gets to the TideSlide. What that does is allows me to keep the boat stable, almost as though it was crisscrossed over the motors without having to crisscross. So again, if we get severe high tide or even a severe low tide, those things will adjust. Just an overall picture of the whole system in the boat. There you could see the spring line from the rear and the front. So I've got 2 spring lines there, and then my bow line on the starboard side real tight to that first TideSlide system. Those plastic chocks are super strong. Nothing's going to break that. And again, through bolted onto the pilings. This system I put in myself. The outer pilings I had a bulkhead contractor do it. And again, you can see all the lines are very short. There's nothing crisscrossed. And if you wanted to, if you were in a marina that was a little bit out of the weather or waves, you could get away without having spring lines. I hope you enjoyed this video, and here's some examples of the TideSlide system in a severe storm. I think this was last year, 2021, during the springtime. So here's just an idea of how bad this was. It was blowing about 40 to 50 miles an hour. We're in an open bay, so the waves do get pretty big, a solid 3-footer sometimes. And you can see right there the TideSlide system is dealing with the waves, keeping the boat still. And that view there is the starboard side, bow, and my spring line. Boat's barely moving. Yeah, it's going up and down, but it's not moving left to right or forwards or backwards. This view is a little bit of a close-up on the port side. Again, there you see it working in the actual wind. It's taking that motion of up and down from the waves. There's the aft line on the port side, again, keeping the boat from hitting the bulkhead. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative, and thank you.